So students, in this lecture we'll see the properties of state transition matrix. The various useful properties of the state transition matrix are phi of t is equal to e raised to at, which is known as state transition matrix. Then next, that is phi of 0 is equal to e raised to a into 0, which is equal to I, that is known as identity matrix. Identity matrix. Okay. The next, phi of t is equal to e raised to at, which is equal to e raised to minus at raised to minus 1, which is equal to phi of minus t the whole raised to minus 1. Okay. Then next, third property is this one. Third property is phi of t1 plus t2 is equal to e raised to a t1 plus t2, which is equal to e raised to a t1 into e raised to a t2, which is equal to phi of t1 into phi of t2, which is equal to phi of t2 into phi of t1. Okay. Then the next proper that can be written as phi of t1 into phi of t2, which is equal to phi of t2 into phi of t1. The fourth property, which is this one, fourth one, e raised to a t plus s is equal to e raised to at into e raised to as. So the next fifth property is e raised to a plus b into t is equal to e raised to at into e raised to bt only if ab is equal to ba. Only if ab equal to ba. Next, sixth property is phi of t raised to n is equal to e raised to at raised to n, which is e raised to a n t, which is phi of nt. The seventh property is phi of t1 minus t2 into phi of t1 minus t0 is equal to phi of t2 minus t0. This is the seventh property. So I will repeat. Phi of t is equal to e raised to at, which is state transition matrix. The first property is phi of 0 is equal to e raised to a into 0, which is I, identity matrix. Then second property is phi of t is equal to e raised to at, which is equal to e raised to minus at raised to minus 1, which is phi of minus t raised to minus 1. That is phi raised to minus 1 t is equal to phi of minus t. Third property is phi of t1 plus t2 is equal to so the next property is phi of t1 plus t2 is equal to e raised to a t1 plus t2, which is equal to e raised to a into t1 into e raised to a t2, which is phi of t1 into phi of t2, which is phi of t2 into phi of t1. The fourth property is e raised to a t plus s is equal to e raised to at into e raised to as. Fifth property is e raised to a plus b into t is equal to e raised to at into e raised to bt only if ab is equal to ba. Sixth property is phi of t raised to n is equal to e raised to at into n, which is equal to e raised to a n t, which is phi nt. Seventh property is phi of t1 seventh property is phi of t2 minus t1 into phi of t1 minus t0 is equal to phi of t2 minus t0. So whatever is that property, seventh property, what it states is that the process of transition of state can be divided into number of sequential transition. The process of transition of state can be divided into number of sequential transition. Thus, T0 to T2 can be divided as T0 to T1 and T1 to T2 as stated in the property. So, in terms of phi of t, the solution is expressed as x of t is equal to phi of t minus t naught into x of t naught plus integration t naught to t phi of t minus tau b u of tau d tau, where phi of t minus t naught is equal to e raised to a into bracket t minus t naught, and phi of t minus tau is equal to e raised to a t minus tau. The last 8th property. So we have seen about 7th, 8th. Phi of t is a non-singular matrix for all finite values of t. So these are the 8 properties of state transition matrix. Okay. Then solution of state equation by Laplace transform method. So whatever is a Laplace transform method that will convert integral differential equations to simple algebraic equations, and as this is considered as an important property, so it is very convenient to make use of Laplace transform method to obtain the solution of state equation. So we'll consider the non-homogeneous state equation as x dot t is equal to ax of t plus bu of t. So taking Laplace transform of both sides, x of s minus x of 0 is equal to ax of s plus bu of s. Therefore, we can write x of s minus ax of s is equal to x of 0 plus bu of s. As S is an operator, multiplying it by identity matrix of order n into n, will get Si minus A into x of s is equal to x of 0 plus bu of s. Okay, this will get. Then pre-multiplying both sides of the equation above by Si minus A raised to minus 1, so we can write Si minus A inverse into Si minus A the whole x of s multiplied. So Si minus A inverse into Si minus A into x of s is equal to Si minus A the whole inverse into the x of 0 plus bu of s. Therefore, x of s is equal to Si minus A the whole inverse x of 0 plus Si minus A the inverse bu of s. So, the first term, this first term is known as ZIR, and this second term is known as ZSR. So, we'll compare zero input response and zero state response. Comparing zero input response obtained earlier. So, whatever is Zi plus Zr, the above equation. So, when we compare zero input response what has been obtained earlier, then Si minus A inverse will become equal to phi of S. Will become equal to phi of S. Si minus A the whole inverse is equal to phi of S. Then taking inverse Laplace. Laplace inverse of Si minus A inverse is equal to phi of t, which is equal to e raised to at. So the matrix phi of S is equal to Si minus A inverse is called resolvent matrix of A. So all the elements of this matrix are rational functions of S. Okay. Then taking Laplace inverse of equation 2. So when we take Laplace inverse of equation 2, just a minute, taking inverse Laplace transform of equation 2. Okay, so whatever is at equation 2, take that equation and take the Laplace form of its equation. Laplace form of that equation. Just a minute. Play. Just a minute. So, taking inverse Laplace transform of 2 x of t is equal to Laplace inverse of x of s is equal to Laplace inverse of si minus a inverse x of 0 plus Laplace inverse of si minus a inverse b of s. So, using si minus a inverse is equal to phi of s, x of t is equal to Laplace inverse of phi of s x of 0 plus Laplace inverse of phi of s b of s. The term Laplace inverse phi of s b of s is called zero state response. Then whatever is a convolution theorem, from that in Laplace transform it is known that Laplace inverse of f1s into f2s is equal to f1t convolution f2t, that is convolution, which can be written as integration 0 to t h of t minus tau f2 tau d tau. Thus, if f1s is equal to phi of s and f2s is equal to b of s, then Laplace inverse of phi of s b of s is known as integration 0 to t phi of t minus tau b u of tau d tau. Okay, then. So whatever is this above equation 4, so the above equation is taken as fourth equation. Whatever is that above equation shows that Laplace inverse of phi of s b u of s is a zero state response which has been obtained by classical approach. So is a zero state response which has been obtained earlier by classical approach. X of t is equal to x of t is equal to Laplace inverse of phi of s x of 0 plus Laplace inverse of phi of s b u of s. Phi of s is equal to si minus a, the inverse, which we can write it as adjacent of si minus a by determinant of si minus a. So Laplace inverse of phi So Laplace inverse of phi of s is equal to phi of t, which is e raised to at. Then what is the advantage of this method is that without carrying out actual integration, which is time consuming, the zero state response can be easily obtained. Computation of state transition matrix. So when we are obtaining the solution of state equation, the computation of state transition matrix e raised to at plays an important role. There are various methods of obtaining state transition matrix from the state model. These methods are: 1. Laplace transform method, 2. Power series method, 3. Cayley-Hamilton method, 4. Similarity transformation method. Then how to obtain e raised to at in detail by these methods we're going to see now. First we'll go for Laplace. First we'll go for So we'll see the Laplace transform method. we'll see the Laplace transform method. Okay, so when we are going to study the method of obtaining the solution using Laplace transform method, what it is seen is that the Laplace transform of e raised to at, that is phi of t, and it is given by phi of s is equal to si minus a the whole inverse, which is equal to adjacent of si minus a by determinant of si minus a. Then once a is known, knowing a, once si minus a is obtained, then whatever is phi of s, it can be easily obtained. Knowing a, once si minus a is obtained, then phi of s can be easily obtained. Thus phi of s is again a matrix of order n into n, which is same as that of a. So it is called resolvent matrix of a. The e raised to at, that is phi of t, then can be obtained by finding inverse Laplace transform of phi of s, that is inverse Laplace transform of each element of the resolvent matrix phi of s. So this is the most simple method of obtaining state transition matrix e raised to at, hence popularly used. So we have e raised to at is equal to Laplace inverse of phi of s, which is Laplace inverse si minus a the whole inverse, which is equal to Laplace inverse of adjacent of si minus a by determinant of si minus a. We'll go for the problem. Find the state transition matrix for a is equal to 0, minus 1, plus 2, minus 3. So we'll use Laplace transform method, the solution. So si minus a, what you can write? S into I. I is identity matrix whose diagonal elements are 1. So this is 1, this is 1, diagonal elements. The remaining 2 are 0. Okay. Then minus a is 0, minus 1, plus 2, minus 3, which is equal to, we can write s minus it is. So s minus 0 is s. This will be 0 minus of minus 1 will become plus 1. This is minus of, this is s into 0, minus into plus 2 will become minus 2. Then this s into 1 is s into 1, this will find s into 1 is s minus of minus 3, which is equal to s plus 3. Then adjacent of s minus a. How to find adjacent of s minus a? So reverse the term. So these elements diagonal are, so this will become s plus 3, this will become s, this will become minus 1, this will become 2. Okay, this transform of that. So what it will become? S plus 3, transform of that. S plus 3, this will become minus 1, this will become 2, this is s. Then determinant of s minus a, determinant of si minus a, which is s, then plus 1, minus 2, s plus 3. So determinant of si minus a, so what it will become? Yes, we have to find determinant of this. So s into s plus 3, s square plus 3s, then minus of minus 2 into plus 1 will become plus 2. So it will be s square plus 3s plus 2, which we can write it as s plus 1 into s plus 2. So si minus a, the inverse, is equal to adjacent of si minus a by determinant of si minus a, which is equal to s plus 3 minus 1 to s, which is equal to s plus 1. Sorry, this will become adjacent of si minus a by determinant of si minus a, which will come equal to s plus 3 minus 1 to s divided by determinant of si minus a is s plus 1 into s plus 2. Then phi of s is equal to si minus a the whole inverse, which is equal to s plus 3 divided by s plus 1 into s plus 2 minus 1 divided by s plus 1 into s plus 2, 2 divided by s plus 1 into s plus 2, s divided by s plus 1 into s plus 2. So e raised to at will become equal to Laplace inverse of Si minus A inverse, which is equal to Laplace inverse of this term s plus 3 divided by s plus 1 into s plus 2 minus 1 divided by s plus 1 into s plus 2, 2 divided by s plus 1 into s divided by s plus 1 into s plus 2. Then using partial fractions expansion for all the elements, we can write e raised to at is equal to Laplace inverse of 2 divided by s plus 1 minus 1 by s plus 2 minus Laplace inverse of 2 divided by s plus 1 minus 1 by s plus 2 minus 1 divided by s plus 1 plus 1 by s plus 2, 2 divided by s plus 1 minus 2 divided by s plus 2 minus 1 by s plus 1 plus 2 by s plus 2. So e raised to at will come equal to e raised to at. E raised to at will become equal to 2 e raised to minus t minus e raised to minus 2 t minus e raised to minus t plus e raised to minus 2t. 2 e raised to minus t minus 2 e raised to minus 2t minus e raised to minus t plus 2 e raised to minus 2t, which is equal to 5t. This is the required state transition matrix. I'll stop here. You go through this, and in the next lecture I'll continue with another method.